Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday, that means it is experiment day, and after the disappointment of last week's experiment where Blackburn Rovers did nothing in 25 years, today we're going to go to a club who are eclipsed by their city rival. So before we get into today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video around. The more likes, the more subscribers, the better. We're going to continue to build this channel from the ground up. Hopefully build on the subscriber count, and we're going to get it in at the start of the video today rather than at the end as we usually do. So the team that we're going to give £1 billion to today is a team in a capital city in Europe. They weren't the first team in this city. They merged to create a merged team with another club in the city. That lasted all of about 2 years. After that, they split back up. One team has gone on to great heights. The other team, mediocrity. And that mediocrity team is the team that we're going to give the £1 billion to today. And hopefully, in 25 years, they can progress and eclipse their bitter city rivals. The team, of course, that I'm talking about is Paris FC. They're our rivals, Paris Saint-Germain, who, thanks to all the oil money, absolutely at the top of the class in France. And we're hoping that with the money that we give to Paris FC, that they can get up to those upper echelons of the French league and challenge PSG for some Ligue 1 titles. One little disclaimer before we get into the video. We're going to set it at 25 years. We're not going to go 26, we're not going to go 24, we're not going to go 30. It's easy enough when you get to 25 years, especially if they're challenging to go, one more year. But we could be at that for days and weeks if that's the case. So 25 years is the time frame. That's how long they've got to topple PSG. Let's see if they can do it, and let's get into the video right now. So here we go then. Paris FC, there's the money. £1 billion in the bank balance, £500 million transfer budget, £5 million wage budget, sugar daddy on the front end. Nothing else has changed. All the facilities stay the same. All the reputation, attendances, all that stays the same. They currently sit with 3-star training facilities, 3-star youth facilities, and then grey stars on the junior coaching and the youth recruitment. They're not a million miles away from a gold star on the youth recruitment. 5 silver stars there. So there's a shell to work with. And let's see. Let's go 5 years into the future. Let's see how we get on. Paris FC. Can they firstly get promoted to Ligue 1? And then can they start challenging PSG? So there we have it. The league table in season number 1. 38 games played, 72 points, up as champions. Season number 2, relegation, 39 points from 38 games. 4 teams went down this season, which is slightly odd. 4 points behind the team in 16th, so they weren't really close there. Season number 3, back up as champions, 81 points this time from 38 games. Went up with Bordeaux. 4th season, 49 points, 4 points away from getting a European spot. Very well done there. They've cemented their place as a mid-table side here in this first season. Can they go on in the next season? Season number 5, they have finished. Where are they? 4th Europa League spot. Not a Champions League spot, which is disappointing. 34 games played, 62 points. Not far away from Lyon and getting a Champions League place. And then, because of a little mishap, we went 6 seasons rather than 5. So in the 6th season, they have finished in 12th place. Disappointing considering that they got 38 points from 34 games. Actually only just about survived because Montpellier down there in 16th, they got 36 points. Very tight, all the way up to 10th. Any one of them could have gone down. Paris being one of those clubs. So after a good season finishing 4th, they've dropped back down to 12th. They seem to have secured themselves as a Ligue 1 side, which is the first major sticking point for them. Now it's all about progressing. It's all about building on top of that. We're just going to have a look at the landmarks as well. So they won Ligue 2, a few changes in captains, relegation from Ligue 1, youth and training facilities upgraded, promotion from Ligue 2 again, Ligue 2 champions, French Cup runners-up in the 2025 season. Eric Dyer appointed as captain. That's a big signing. Promotion from within. They've scaled down some funding. Now that could be a slight issue as we move forward. William Carvalho appointed as captain. So not a lot has happened. One cup final by the look of it. We're going to quickly, and looking at the facilities now, 3.5 star on the training facilities, 3.5 star on the youth facilities, 5 grey stars on the junior coaching, that's improved, and we've got 1 gold star on the youth recruitment as well. So no trophies. There's a bank balance of 293 million there. Just going to go into editor to have a quick look at this. So yeah, 293 million. Underwriter on the sugar daddy now rather than the front end. It's slightly worrying. They're still classed as rich. The reputation 3.5 stars. I didn't have a look at that, what it was in the first season. But like I said, it's a good start. And there's a lot to build on here. Now to the bit that I enjoy, the transfers that they have made in the last 6 seasons. And I can already see in the 2024-25 season, there's a lot of money being spent. Maybe that's after the second promotion. So this would be promotion number 1. 3 players above £1 million. Mohamed Bayo, Quentin Merlin and Kofi Jidi. All brought in 1.3, 2.4 and 2.8 million pounds. Spent 6.5, hardly anything recouped there. Next season, the first season they were in League 134 million spent. No wonder they have lost so much. Denis Suarez, Darwin Nunez, Kevin Mbabu, Seko Fofana, Michael Antonio, Ross Barkley, Diego Llorente. There's a fair few good players here. They spent a lot of money. 3 players, double figures, 19.75, 39.5 and 46.5. Only recouped 7.25 million as well that season. Kofi GD for 2.4 million after he was signed for 2.8. So they lost out on him after just 1 season. Who else was there? Diego Llorente went to Blackburn for 2.1 after coming in from Leeds for 2.5. There's some bad business here. Courtney House coming on loan as well. So it's always a weird one. So then they got relegated that season. So back in League 2, they spent 95 million, recouping 53 in the 3rd season. 26 million there on Alejandro Francis, Gonzalo Montiel from Sevilla for 16 million. So who did they sell to get some money back? Darwin Nunez to Leeds, 26.5 million. Fofana to Lyon for 10.75 million. Ross Barkley went to Rennes, for 5.25. So they recouped a little bit there, but still spending a lot of money. And this is after the second promotion, 428 million. They spent a net spend of just under 410 million pounds. Who have they spent it on? 51 million pounds, 48.5, 47, 44. They have really gone out their way. Went to Arsenal and got a couple of players. Soyuncu from PSG for 29, Nuno Santos from Sporting for 31.5, Cambiasso from Arsenal for 44 million. They have really gone all out here, and this is probably why they have cemented themselves. 428 million pounds spent is a ridiculous sum of money. Goes down the following season though, 22 million, and just the goalkeeper brought in there, and they sold 99 million pounds worth of player. Makengo, Brenner. So they've got a habit of bringing in players and selling them on for less money than what they brought them for, especially in the same season. It is very bizarre what they're trying to do here. 26-27 season, they spent 182 million, bringing in 161. So not much on the net spend there. Palacios, Mavidi, Martinez, all brought in. Get a lot of money spent on players there as we work our way down, having a look at who they brought in. Player sales. Number of players gone out there. So Unchu's left. There's a lot of players here that they're signing that are spending 12 to 18 months at the club, and then they're leaving. They're not really getting a settled squad together by the look of this. A lot of money spent. As we just saw, they haven't got a lot of money left over now. I think it said £276 million left in the bank. So there's not a lot of money to build on this. They need a lot of Champions League football now, which they haven't yet done, to really recoup some of the money that they've spent and start building more of a base now. I thought the base was there with £1 billion, and they've built a base, spending 3/4 of it, and now they need to extend on this base. I don't know if they've got the money to do it. So now we're going to go forward 4 seasons, and we're going to get to 10 because I wanted to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I've obviously balls that up. So where do we think we're going to get in 4 years' time? Do we think that they are going to be a established top 6, top 7 League One side. Do we think they're going to be around mid-table? Me personally, I'm looking at this now thinking, with the bank balance they've got left, 293 million, I thought it was 275, 293 million pounds left. I don't know if they can get beyond that sort of top 8 on a regular basis. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to go forward 4 years into the future to make it 10 years and level it out then, and then we'll go 5 years on from then. So let's go another 4 years. So 10 seasons in now, and we are back. And the first season after the break, Paris finished in 9th place with 47 points, way off the European places there. Then season number 8, they finished in 5th Europa League place again, 58 points, 3 points off the Champions League. This time 4th place made the Champions League. Lyon getting the Champions League there. 29-30 season, they finished in 9th, again outside of Europe. Seems like they get into Europe one season, then fall back out the following season. So not a lot of consistency there. And then into the 30-31 season, 7th place, Europa Conference League, this time 48 points, 13 points behind Lille, who were in 6th. So this time 7th got a European place as well. Quickly to the landmarks as well, and there's another French Cup runner-up. We're going to actually look into both of them because I didn't last time. And they've moved to the Paris FC Stadium. I'm going to quickly look at that first. 27,500 seat stadium. That is a nice. I say it's a nice move. It's only 8,000 more than the previous stadium. I think it was 19,100. So it's about 8,500 more. You thought maybe they'd have gone for a bigger size stadium. I don't know if they ever had to share PSG stadium with them. Doesn't say whether they did ground share at any point. Let's have a quick look at the French Cup as well. Go to the stages and let's head back and look at the finals. So Monaco won it that year. Lille beat Lyon that year. Nantes beat Lyon. They lost 3-2 to PSG. A local derby in the cup final. Lost 3-2 in extra time. And we go back a couple of more seasons. And they lost on penalties. So they've made 2 finals. And they've lost in extra time and on penalties in both of them. That is very, very unfortunate. Doesn't seem to be any changes to any of the star ratings here. Reputation still 3.5. I believe these are all the same as well. 3.5 star training, 3.5 star youth, 5 grey stars on the junior, and 1 gold star on the youth recruitment. So not a lot of improvement there. Obviously nothing added down here. No trophies won. So the spending continued. 27-28 season, £106 million spent against £39 recouped. 28-29 season, £109 million spent against £42.5 million. We'll leave it on here just a second if you want to look at who they have brought in and who they have sold. 29-30 season, just 3 signings there, 11 million spent, 40 million brought back in this season though, including Palacios, 16.25 million. We have 74 million pounds spent in the 30-31 season, brought back in 23 million. So the spending has been curbed a little bit, although big money spent on Abdi, 40.5 million pounds. That's where a lot of that money's been spent. If they don't spend that amount of money, net spend of about 10 million, and it all looks pretty tight and pretty snug. One thing that you might have kept a track of, which I haven't, so I'm just going to go through it now, is the league champions that there have been in Ligue 1 since this has been going. So Lille won it before the game started in the 2020-21 season. PSG then did 2 in a row. AS Monaco did 3 in a row from 2023 to 2026. PSG 3 in a row, and then Monaco, and then PSG. So PSG and Monaco have been sharing it about 2 for PSG, 3 for Monaco, 3 for PSG, 1 for Monaco, 1 for PSG. Been sharing it nicely, pretty even. No one else getting a look in. And we're going to look down 10 years of fixtures as well now, just to get a look at what they've been doing. So they got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Cup by AS Monaco, 4-0 there. These were all League 1 games in the previous season. The season before, they got to the Europa League second knockout, lost 3-1 to Inter. And the French Cup 11th round, lost 5-1 to Monaco there. So Monaco getting the better of them quite a few times. I mean, look at that group stage. Beat Rangers, beat PSV, beat Djurgårdens, just dropped 2 points, and that was the Rangers one. So they you must have won the group, and then to get drawn against Inter is so unfortunate. Season before, went out on penalties to Lens in the French Cup. That is everything there. 27-28 season, French Cup. There was the final where they lost against PSG. Again, just in Ligue 1. Europa League, second knockout round. Again, this time knocked out by Sociedad 2-0 on aggregate. Again, another good group stage. Back one more season. Semi-finals of the Cup this time. Getting knocked out 1-0 there. Final against Monaco. Yep, that's the one that they lost on penalties. Again, just Ligue 1 there. And I think that should be the way all the way through. These should just be Ligue 1 games. I think they wouldn't have got anything in these early points of the save. So in this little period, they've got rid of their manager, Thierry Lowry, who was there for just under 8 years, left the managerial role, and he's been replaced by Jerzy Kuka. He is Slovakian, and he was at Watford and Parma. Watford in game, Parma in real life. Has he gone to Watford? He might be at Watford in real life now. Any Watford fans, let me know. Was it Milan, Genoa, Sparta, Prague? So he's been around the block a bit. He is the manager currently at Paris. So one thing that I didn't notice is £92 million left. The finances are down to okay. We're going to go 5 more years into the future. I don't think this club can go any further. Personally, I think they're going to be a mid-table club. Sometimes trying to fight off relegation. Sometimes maybe pushing into Europe. Maybe get into Europe the odd season. But I don't think they're capable of sustaining a push and staying in any of the European competitions, let alone the Champions League. Here we are in 2036, and the first thing I notice as we get here is the Paris job is available, but they're still in Ligue 1. So let's have a quick look into this. A lot of work done to the facilities over the last 5 years. 4.5 star on the training facilities, 4.5 star on the youth facilities, 2.5 star on junior coaching, 3.5 star on the youth recruitment. Bank balance is now in the red, £18 million in debt. So we're going to see what they have spent. Quickly looking down at the trophies as well. Nothing there at all. So let's get the League 1 table up and let's have a look at what they've done in the last few years. So I think we start with a 31-32 season. They made the Champions League for the first time. They made the Champions League. 64 points from 34 games. Level on points with Monaco. 6 points clear of Lyon, who finished 5th. That was great. So did they build on this? They finished 6th. So sustained European football, 2 seasons. Europa League, 55 points, 2 points behind Metz, who finished 5th. 7 points behind the Champions League places. And that was Lille, who finished 4th there. 33-34 season. European football again, this time Conference League. So they've gone Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. 52 points from 34 games. 3 points behind both Nice and Lens. So not a million miles away, but they're keeping that established European football. So that is good. And then 11th. They completely drop out of Europe. They are starting to plummet down the table. That's disappointing. And then this season, 11th again. So 2 consecutive 11th finishes. And that is the current season that we're about to go into. Yeah. So 2 11th place finishes after repeated European football. This was always the worry. So have they peaked now? Because I thought maybe they peaked in the previous 5 years. I definitely think they've peaked now. I'm not sure whether they're going to be able to establish themselves back in Europe. You'd have thought getting that Champions League spot, they'd be able to build on it and at least stick around European football for the next 5 to 10 years, but they haven't. 3 years and they've already dropped out of it, and 2 11th place finishes in a row. Slightly worrying. I mean, they're 14 points clear of the relegation zone there, but only 7 in the season before, so that is a slight worry. PSG and Monaco still sharing titles. PSG have got the upper hand though now. That's 4 league titles out of the last 5 years. AS Monaco got one of them in the 32-33 season. On the landmark screen, nothing there apart from a new chairperson, promotion from within. So not a lot there. Scott McTominay appointed captain in 2031. That's an odd one. Youth and training facilities upgraded. We can see that. We saw that in the star rating when we first clicked onto the overview screen. And then let's have another quick look through the schedules. Shouldn't be anything in this one. Went out in the cup quarterfinals on penalties in this season, just gone. Season before, Europa Conference League Group F, they went out in the group stage. CSKA Moscow, Hartberg. So who are these? Austrian Premier Division. Can't say I've ever heard of these. Finished third in the 33-34 season. So they might need a Google in a bit. Who else was in that group? Schalke as well. So they won one game in that group stage. CSKA Moscow beat them away from home 3-1. They had to go through the qualifying stage to get there as well. Quarterfinals of the Cup, again, knocked out 1-0 this time by Metz. Season before that, Europa League. They got out the group stage in the Europa League and then went out to Galatasaray on penalties. Lost 2-1 away, won 1-0 at home and went out on penalties. Only lost one game in the group stage. That was to Napoli away 3-1. Actually beat Napoli 3-2 at home. So they were doing really well. Champions League, didn't get out of the group. They finished bottom, which actually looking is very disappointing. Defeated Napoli, they beat Zurich at home, lost against them away, and Sivasspor lost and drew against. So Sivasspor must have finished above them. So they went out of the Champions League there with no even any Europa League football to clamour onto. Season before that, I think this was the last season. The first season, sorry. Went out to Ajax in the quarterfinals 4-1 on aggregate. No shame in that. Beat Sparta Rotterdam in the second knockout stages. Just dropped 2 points. Hibs, Grasshoppers and Banica Strava drew away at Banica Strava 0-0. Very good in the group stages there. So they weren't completely embarrassed in Europe. I mean, I suppose Europa League was probably more their level, but they've done really well in some of these European competitions. But like I say, it looks like they've moved away from it now, and I'm not sure how much more European football they're going to be getting at the Paris Stadium. So just be interesting to see how much they've spent at this point. 77 million spent in the 30-31 season against 26 million brought back in. 43-4 in the 31-32 season. 32-33 spent 37, brought back in 9. 33-34 spent 15, brought back in 67 million there. Paul Craig to Villarreal for 37.5. Mbambo to Sociedad for 15.25 million, and Burgos to Bilbao for 11.25 million. I will be able to read at some point. 34-35 season, spent 16.5, brought in 12.75 million. And then the 35-36 season, spent 18, brought back in 21 million. So the spending has been curbed massively, and I mean massively. If you go to the profile, like I said, £18 million in debt. The wage bill is 675. Actually, is that the amount that they're allowed to spend? Bear in mind, we gave them 5 million nearly 15 years ago. £18 million debt, still an underwriter. Finances are in a bad way here. And it looks like they've got a relatively old looking squad as well. Yeah, not a lot of youth there. Youngest players are 21. Vidal, Mane, Mbassi. Alberta's a 22-year-old Spanish player. So it doesn't look like they've really put in the foundations here to be a successful club long term. And that is very, very worrying. We're going to go 5 more years into the future, get to a nice round 20. Very concerned about where this is going to go from here now, because like I say, 2 11th place finishes. There is a big worry that they're not going to be able to sustain League 1 football. We are back 20 seasons in, and the opening screen that we see says Paris FC available job in Ligue 2. So it's happened. We kind of called it. We kind of knew that there was going to be an issue, especially the way they'd started dropping down the table, and the fact that they'd only finished 7 points clear of the relegation places. I think it was the season before last, was a slight concern. Let's get into the team page and have a look. Training facilities 4-star, youth facilities 4.5, junior coaching 2.5, youth recruitment up to 3.5. This should be the basis for a team that is going to really build on youth. I mean, there's part of me that wants to continue this save off camera 25 years in and just take this club and really, really get stuck into it, because the facilities are there. There's obviously not a lot of money there now to spend or to do anything with, but there's so much in the way of facilities. There's got to be some good players coming through here at Paris. I'd like to see where they're going to be in 5 years' time, because if they're nearly maxed out, this could be a very, very interesting club to take over. What have I done there? £11 million in the bank balance, so that's a positive. We've gone back up. I'm just looking in the bottom corner of my screen, and they've slowly fell away. Let's look at League 1. Let's get into stages. So this was the season they went down 32 points, quite comfortably down as well. There's 3 teams now on 36, but they were 4 points off. Goal difference wasn't good enough either, minus 28. So that was really disappointing. The season before that, they finished in 14th. 15th season before that, just 2 points off the relegation places and nons. Season before that, 16th again. So they were really, really flirting with relegation before they actually went down. Season before that, 14th, a little bit more secure, and there's the 11th place finish that we were on last time. It was coming. They've dropped further and further down the table. I mean, if you look at this little graph here in this corner, slowly dropping further and further down, 16th, 15th, 14th, and finally they succumb to relegation, back down to League 2, which is going to make these last 5 years a little bit more pointless, because they're not going to achieve much in these last 5 years. Probably promotion back to League 1. I can't see them challenging PSG from where they are now. Like I said, they've got a good infrastructure at this club now. An infrastructure where they should be able to build on it and really cement their place as a League 1 side. But for some reason, the AI, and I found this with the Blackburn experiment last week, the AI just doesn't seem to know how to be able to establish these clubs as top flight clubs. And like I said, I'm really intrigued by this. I might get into this save. If I do, I will keep it updated on Twitter how it goes. But 20 years in, great infrastructure. There's something there. 27,500 capacity stadium. Definitely interested in carrying on this save off camera. We're on the landmark screen now, and the only one that I can see is Hervé Langlois has withdrew his funding to the club. That, I'm guessing, has a big effect, because then the relegation hit just after that. I mean, it was coming, regardless of whether he withdrew his funding or not. That relegation was coming, but I wonder whether that just had a knock-on. Actually, went 4 years difference there, so that was probably the reasons why they were mid-table comfortably, and then they were just battling relegation every season. And the transfers over the last couple of years, no money spent in what is the current season, and they've already bought in 15 million. Mbasse's gone to Lyon for 12.75 million. Season before that, they spent 1.9, brought in 875k. Spent 125k the season before that, brought in 3.8. 250k spent in the 38-39 season, 5.5 brought in there. 34 million spent in the 37-38 season, and they brought back in 88 million pounds. So they've really turned into a selling club now. 4 million pounds spent there, brought back in 2.7. So they're spending within their means. See, you look across here, and just that one big season there, in, I think it was the 24-25 season, they've started spending a little bit more within their means, started bringing in a lot more sales as well. There's obviously some saleable assets at the club, which is keeping them afloat, and obviously that is crucial. We're going to go into the league on screen as well, have a look at the league titles, and PSG are dominating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 titles, I think that is, in the last 8 years. Back to normal service. Again, this save is looking more and more interesting to me, because PSG are there to be taken down, and like I said, the infrastructure is there in this club. So the final point of this episode, 2046. At least there's no job availability this time. So let's see. Paris FC, where are they? They're in Ligue 1. That's a positive move. I'm going to go back through the league tables. Let's go to stages. And so, season just gone. They finished in 16th, just staved off relegation there. Season before that. Oh, okay. So they've clearly done a little bit of yo-yoing. So where are we then? So they went down. They didn't go straight back up. I thought they were going to go straight back up. So they finished 5th, got to the playoffs. Wait, that means they went up through the playoffs, doesn't it? League table, promotion playoff. No, wait, I don't think they did. I've gone way too far back again. So right, so they got into the playoffs and didn't go up. I think that's what we're right saying. Then they won the league, so they did go up there, 82 points. Lost 8 games as well. 2 points clear of Sochaux. Yeah. So they're what's their stadium hold now anyway? 27.5 still. I'll have a look at the stars on the training facilities in a second. So they went up and they went straight back down. Bottom of the table. Great. So then the 2044 season went back up second behind Nantes, 75 points. Which means that they finished 16th. This could go on for another 10 or 15 years. Up and down and up and down and up and down. Not great. It's been kind of disappointing after 25 years. They had their moment. They had the Champions League football. They had that one season of Champions League football out of 25 years. Couple of Europa League, couple of Conference Leagues. And what do they have to show for it? There's no legacy there. 6 million in the bank, 4-star training facilities, 4.5-star youth facilities, 3-star junior coaching, 3.5-star youth recruitment. Again, I've used the word infrastructure so many times, but there is such an infrastructure here. And there's an ability for someone to come in and take this side and really establish it. Everything is there for this side. Everything. But for some reason, the AI just can't do it. Like I said earlier on, they couldn't do it last week with Blackburn. They can't do it this week with Paris. And I don't know what else to say. It's so disappointing. I mean, what does the transfers look like? I'm guessing they would have evened out. I mean, look at this. They've definitely evened out. £1 million net spend this season. They made a profit the season before that. Made a profit the season before that. Profit the season before that. Profit the season before that. So, I mean, going back to the 2041-2042 season, they made a profit of, what, £27 million there. Then they made a profit of £9.25 million. Then a profit of, what, £13.5 million. Profit of £4 million. Profit of 1.75. And then they've spent £1 million so far this summer. But again, this could be somewhere where they make another profit. So the finances are really coming together nicely. We've got £6.5 million in the bank balance. There's a £4 million transfer budget. So there's money there to be spent. And there's definitely something here. I mean, the team looks a lot more French than it did when we last checked it. I mean, looking down, they've got a few more youngsters in there. Samuel Edson, left back from Brazil, also in there. Who have they got of any value? So they've got David Therese, an 18-year-old French winger who's valued between 14.5 and 43 million pounds. Let's have a quick look at him. Current ability 114, potential ability 148. Let's take the editor off. That's fine. So there's obviously some talent there. I mean, he'd be one. You want to build the club around him. He's got a 4-year deal as well. You want to build the club around him. But if someone comes in with stupid money and you can sell him for what? You know, in excess of 40 to 50 million pounds, there's definitely some money there to build the squad around. Let's just have a quick look at the landmarks. Anything happened? Ligue 2 champions. Relegation. promotion from League 2. Not a lot, just a few ownerships. Jin Suk Kim is now the new chairperson at the club. I don't know what that means in terms of what kind of money they've got. Actually, didn't check. Have they still got an underwriter? No sugar daddy at all now. So, 25 years, nothing has happened. They're obviously, I mean, you can look at the fixtures, but there's going to be nothing there. Just French Cup and league games, because they blew it. They blew the chance that they had of becoming an established French side. I thought Paris had a chance. I really thought Paris had a chance. We're just going to get them up for one last time before we finish off. 3 League 2 titles. They won it in, what would the years have been? 2022, 2024, and then 2043. So 20 years nearly between 2 League 2 titles, which shows that that's not the league they should be winning. I mean, we'll go all the way back into the 25-26 season. Established in the upper mid-table part of the league on, and then there is where the slide begins. The 4th place, and then it's 4th, 6th, 7th, 11th, 14th, 16th, 15th, 14th, and there's the relegation. And then since then they've been a yo-yo team, and like I said, we could go another 5 years in the future, we could go another 10 years in the future. I think this side is going to be a yo-yo team now, especially under the AI. I think, like I said, I'd be quite interested in managing this team, because if you can get that junior coach and the youth recruitment up just a little bit more, some of the youth players you're going to have coming through this club are going to be fantastic, especially if you can start snatching some from PSG. It's another disappointing experiment. We'll be back for another one, possibly tomorrow. There's a good chance, because of Discord playing up on Tuesday night, there's no real available Twitch stream to edit for tomorrow's video. So there may be another experiment out then. Not entirely sure, but if not, there'll be one next Saturday. Don't forget to catch me Monday to Friday, 7:30, Hinckley Leicester Road. After yesterday's episode, we're moving into the following season. We need reinforcements. We need improvements. There'll be a transfer window on Monday evening. And as I did at the start of the video, if you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel. Join me tomorrow for whatever that video is going to be. Join me Monday evening for the transfer window at Hinckley Leicester Road. I'll come back next Saturday for another experiment. I'll see you soon.